Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing absolutely fine. Hope everyone is staying back at home and staying safe. A lot of questions coming up from students regarding the September intake or the upcoming intakes for Canada, whoever is coming out for studies for their higher studies in Canada. So just wanted to give you an idea and give you an understanding of what are the conditions out there in the market in Canada so that you get an idea of what the reality is instead of just assuming things. And then after knowing few things, then you can decide on whether you should take the next step forward or you should think about it and maybe deviate your plan a little bit so that you're benefited a little more. So coming on to the point, many students approached me in March and April. They wanted to ask, should we come to Canada for May intake, where I advised that you should highly think about it and maybe defer your program to September 2020 or January 2021. Now again, I'm getting a lot of questions. Should we still plan for September or should we plan for January 2021? So I wanted to give you a very high level idea of how things are and what we should expect in Canada in August, September period in 2020, and then you can make a decision, or that's your call if you really want to come for your higher studies at that point of time. So right now, for all the May intake students, whosoever joined recently, like they just came in April end or May first week for their May intake, or the continuing students who maybe joined in Jan or September last year. So they are all going for online classes. There are no physical classes, like you are not going to the colleges or universities in Canada at the moment because everything is closed. So you will be joining through Zoom. That's widely used over here for your online classes, and you are submitting your assignments. So everything is online. Now, if you are coming for September intake, then what will be the situation? Everyone is assuming, or everyone is getting an idea that it's very difficult for colleges or universities to reopen at the same level or at the same pace that they were running last year, right? The online classes will still be continued for September intake, and there is a high possibility for the same. If you are really coming out from other countries to Canada for higher education and you are taking online classes, I don't know what kind of experience you are getting. If you are really coming out to gain some knowledge or to gain Canadian experience or to interact with students in your class, I feel that if you go to a university, if you go to a class, if you go to a college, right, you get that real experience. You get involved in a lot of activities. You get involved in sports activities or your associations in your universities, and you can even go for your on-campus jobs. That being said, when the universities are closed, you are not exposed to all these opportunities. So you are losing out on all these opportunities. That's the first thing, that if you are coming for higher studies in September and there are online classes, then you are missing out on all these opportunities that you get while you study in a university or you physically go to a university. That's what you're paying such a high amount for. And if the universities are closed, I don't know what kind of experience, or you might not even get 10% of what your real experience would be. So that is the first thing, that online classes, even though are running, the programs are continuing, the universities are closed, but programs are still ongoing. But it's not a best decision to just come here and go for the online classes. I personally don't like that idea. I've seen a lot of students doing their online classes from home, but they are not happy with it because they paid such a high amount with real great expectations, but they don't have any option. So whosoever came to Canada before the coronavirus, they are in a situation that they don't have any choice. But whosoever is in India, they have a choice. So if you get to know something, I will suggest you to think about it, to give it a second thought, and then see, or do you really want to go for the online classes, or you should wait for some time and let the things be back on track and then go for this option. The second thing, even if you plan to come for September 2020 intake, be like, okay, I'm fine with online classes. I really don't I'm not that interested in going to universities or colleges unless or until my program is continuing. I'm fine with it. Okay, sure. So Assume you come to Canada in September 2020 and you start your online classes from your home because university is allowing you to do so. The second thing that you must be looking out for is jobs. So now what about the jobs? Now talking about the jobs, whosoever is coming to Canada as a student, as an immigrant, as a worker, anyone, they will be looking out for jobs. And now those jobs can be off-campus jobs. For example, they're working out in Subway, they're working out in Walmart, Tim Hortons, and whatnot. So all these places, if we talk about, most of the places are closed. Most of the places have reduced their workforce because of the situation in the country right now, our situation. That's the global situation though. So everything is kind of closed, everything is kind of, or everyone has kind of reduced their workforce. So that has highly impacted the number of jobs. So if you go to news, millions of people have applied for employment insurance in Canada. That means that they have been laid off by their employer. Now, if you come to Canada in September 2020, if your agent is saying that, hey, you go there, you will get employment insurance, you will get CERB, Canadian government is giving out a lot of benefits. So you should know that you will not get any of these benefits if you don't find a job. Because if you look out for, or if you read through the rules for all these things, if you are, for example, for employment insurance, if you're working with an employer and the employer lays you off and you're searching for another job and you have already paid for employment insurance to the government, only then you will get employment insurance and you're willing to find a job. So there are a lot of requirements and conditions for employment insurance. Only then you get employment insurance because you're laid off by your employer from your current employment. If you're not even working, then you're not entitled for employment insurance. CERB is if you have earned more than $5,000 or a minimum of $5,000 in year 2019, then you are eligible to get $2,000 a month right now. So if you are landing in September 2020, then no way you have earned anything last year, so no way you are going to get that benefit, and no way you are getting any help from the government. So it will be really, really difficult for you or the new students or anyone, even immigrants who are coming to Canada in September or August this year, because even the government is trying to open the market at the moment, but it will take time. And also, even if the market opens, even if, let's assume all the markets open, just think about those millions of people who are already being laid off, they will be applying for jobs. So anyways, if you come to Canada, you try to find a job, it may take you weeks or months to find a job. And with such a backlog of people, maybe so many people, lakhs, millions of people who are trying to get a job, all this competition, what do you think? What are your chances to find a job? So it's gonna be really, really difficult in getting a job and finding a job. Another thing is IELTS, IDP, BC, they are not conducting IELTS exam at the moment, and we are hearing about this Duolingo app that agents are suggesting for students to take exam, and if you pass that exam, if you get a certain score, they have tied up with universities who are rolling out admission letters based on your score in Duolingo app. So it's kind of a way around, I will say. They have found out for IELTS, but I was getting messages like if this is good, if we should go for this thing, because whosoever has not given IELTS exam before the coronavirus situation or before the census were closed, or now they are not conducting exams, now they are stuck. So they are like, should we go for this and give our exam right away and get admission letter and come for September intake, right? Universities are rolling out admission letters, but think about it. Getting admission letter will not get you an entry to Canada. You have to get visa, you have to get study permit, right? So when you will be applying for your visa to Canada, study visa, so if you give your Duolingo app score, you don't have the IELTS TRF with you, what are your chances of getting a visa? So I have never seen in CIC requirements that Duolingo app is certified or acceptable. So how can that score will get you a visa for sure? So not 100% sure. If someone is getting a visa, that's their pure luck. But under CIC, it's not registered, and we should not consider it. just go with CSE requirements. Only IELTS is acceptable, and you should not fall under agent traps. They want your money. They will try to find any way so that their business is running, to keep their business running, right? So even they have to get commission from colleges and universities need students. So if IELTS is not conducting exams till December, they have to fill their seats for September, right? So they will roll out admissions. Okay, let's take this Duolingo app and let's roll out admissions. But if it is written in CIC, no. So think about it, and don't fall under these traps. Don't waste your money in all these things. So always, what my suggestion is, always look out for what market condition is, how the situation is in Canada. It's changing every day. I'll try to post more videos and will try to give more current updates on how the situation is, how the market is, how the job opportunities are at the moment, so that you get an idea of what current situation is going on in Canada at the moment, and that will really help you in deciding whether you should come for September intake or not. My personal suggestion is, if you are spending so much of money, if you really want that good experience, do not fall into the trap of online classes. If agent is telling you that, hey, go there, online classes are available, say no to online classes. We should not take that option. I think that should be the last option. If you have some condition, if you have some circumstances that, hey, there will be a very huge gap in my I have already left a job, I have already graduated, now I'm sitting idle at home, I don't have anything to do. If you are under those kind of circumstances, if you have a situation, then evaluate and then go for that option. That should be your last option. So if you don't have any other option, go for it. But if you have some other option, if you are currently employed, I feel that do not go for this option. You will not get a good experience, you will not get good exposure, and staying back at home and online classes, I think you can study on YouTube only. There are various other websites where you can take a subscription and do your studies online. Then what is the advantage of coming to Canada? If it's just coming to Canada and no studies, if you don't want to get that good experience, then that's a different story. But if you really want to learn something, if you really want to have a good experience, say no to online classes and defer your program till January 2021. That is my suggestion. And in September or October, again, we will make a few more videos. I'll try to provide more updates and then assess the market, how the market is right now and how the situation is, and then plan accordingly. So I think that will be a very good way to go. And yes, do follow me on Instagram. I post a lot of updates on Instagram. Whatever news is coming up, I post it on Instagram so that you are up to date with what's happening in the market. And my ID is Rahul__Midha. The link will be in the description. If you want, just click there and follow me on Instagram. Even if there are a few job updates, I try to post them there so that it helps students or anyone who's in Canada, they can apply for the job, and all the information. And do like the video, comment on the video, and let me know if you liked it. And if you want any certain specific videos, do let me in the comment section below. If you have any questions, do let me know and I'll try to answer them. Stay safe and see you in the next one. Have a very nice day. Bye now.